Hello. I got my hair tied back, and I don't have on any makeup either, so it is what it is. I don't really care. But I wanted to talk about a subject real quick as I sit in this car and wait. Um, I wanted to talk about bullying. And I'm doing this live just in case anybody wanted to chime in or anything like that. But if nobody wants to chime in, that is absolutely fine with me because I'm doing this video almost more so for myself than anybody else. So um as a child growing up, I went to public school, and I went to public school in Dallas, and I don't sound like people from Dallas. Now, I was born and raised in Dallas, okay, but I don't sound like black people from here. So that you gotta excuse me, a little bit out of breath because like we've been working out and stuff, and I was out and we were in the sauna and stuff like that, so I'm still in recovery. But I was just thinking about it. So I went to schools here, and I didn't sound like anybody else, and my name is quote unquote very white. My name is Rebecca. Okay, so my name is Rebecca, and I don't sound black. and like I said, it's not my fault. It's nothing intentional. I mean, my parents didn't it's not that they didn't allow slang in the house, or I don't know what the difference is between us and other people, but my mother doesn't sound, you know, I guess she sounds black, but her English is like real correct, and my sister is the same way. So that's how I sound. But I would get bullied for it. I would get bullied because of my name, and I would get bullied because of how I sounded. Not so much about looks or anything like that. I'm a regular brown skinned girl, so I didn't have any dark skin problems, nor did I have any light skin problems or anything like that. Um, and some of it got really bad. When it was elementary school, it was simple. I also walked on my toes. So it was simple. It was simple stuff, walking on your toes, not sounding like everybody else, and having this white girl name, to the point where I wanted to change my name. But, middle school got really, really bad. Okay. So, and I don't ever tell people exactly what was said in middle school, but somebody spread a vicious rumor about me. Somebody who ironically was very, very popular, and really I hadn't have been on her radar at all. I don't even know what I did. But this girl was like popular, and she had these two little friends that used to follow her around, and they just decided to that I was going to be their target. I lost my little boyfriend that year. He was like, "Look, I know the rumors aren't true, but I really can't even take the stress." And me, I was like, "Yeah, I understand, dude. Like, we don't even have to, it's cool. Peace out, And we were still friends. We still friends to this day, but like he just could not take the pressure of being with me and having to deal with these rumors. So, you know, um I have been known in my life, because of these things, to be a fighter. And I don't feel like I was naturally a fighter or anything like that. My mother really, really had to give me some serious pep talks. And I don't necessarily see people doing this to their children in school today. I think that's why a lot of kids are killing themselves after being bullied and stuff like that, because they haven't been taught to handle it. And to be honest, they really shouldn't have to handle it. Like, people who have children that are bullies like need to teach their kids to like leave people alone and understand that that's actually where the issues need to go. They need to be working on the bullies. But you know my mother had to give me pep talks, and she had to send me out there, because she said, I can't be with you at school. You know what I mean? And I can go to the principal, tell my mom, I can go to the principal, I can go to your teacher, I can talk to the other parent. But at the end of the day, I really can't stop anything that's going on with you. You're going to have to stop it yourself. And she was absolutely right, because there were times that she talked to teachers and parents and principals. And I mean, that kid is looking at you from across the principal's office and behind people's back. She like, I'm gonna get you after school. I'm gonna kick your ass after school. So no, you might have to do something else, and that's what ended up happening. She really had to tell me, and she had to pay me. She had to pretty much pay me to go fight. She was like, listen, for every punch that you get in, like, I'm gonna get you this, I'm gonna get you that, you know. For every situation that you deal with, like, I'm gonna give you some sort of reward, to the point where there would be sometimes I'd be having fights in elementary school and they'd be like, she needs to go home for the rest of the day. My mom would cancel all her meetings and take me to Chuck E. Cheese, bro. Like, so that's where I would be, is at Chuck E. Cheese, because I got into a fight today. And I fought everybody. I fought girls, I fought guys, I fought older kids, anybody that was picking on me. I started fighting, and I fought all the time. It got to the point, middle school, with that stuff. The lesson I learned in middle school, this is once again coming from my mother, because I'm talking about somebody who was talking about me. I was depressed. I slept all day. And, I would be laying across my mother's bed sometimes, and I'd be crying. I'd be like, I don't know what I did to these people. Like, why do these people dislike me? What did I do? I never did anything to anybody. And my mother was like, baby, like, you can't fight everybody. It's impossible to fight everybody. So, that was the lesson I learned that year. But I did something a little crazy, and so I started being a little crazy person at that point. And some people know what I did at that point. This was before Columbine. Like, I'm old. Some of y'all don't realize how old I am, but honey, I'm a little bit old. So this was well before Columbine, and I told that girl who had spread that rumor. I told her, I said, if you keep on, I said, I'm gonna get my daddy shotgun, and I'm gonna come up here and I'm gonna shoot you. She was like, what? Well, it's not me, it's my friends. And I got her alone. I said that alone. That's another story. But I told her that. She was like, it's my friends, it wasn't me. I said, well, tell them too. It's the same thing. Like, I'm tired of this, because you can't stop a rumor. And they done told people they could ask me about the rumor. So they're asking me about this rumor in class. They're like, oh yeah, ask her, she'll tell you. And people are asking me in the middle of class. So y'all wondering how many fights I'm getting into in middle school. Yeah, I'm fighting because people are being disrespectful, and they coming and they asking me stuff, and they're picking on me and all this type of stuff. So I'm fighting all the time. I'm getting suspended and stuff like that. I got suspended a lot in middle school. And it really died down in high school. I didn't have that much bullying. There was some stuff that happened, but whatever. I'm telling you, the peak was middle school. And all of this really, it affects you, and you grow up, and it affects people in different ways. I will put this disclaimer on there and say that I am not thankful for that shit. I am not grateful. Like F everybody that picked on me, you know what I mean? I'm not grateful for that. But that's the reason. That's one of the many, many, many reasons I homeschool my children. That's one of the reasons, because any children of me are going to be weird. And being the fact that their father is not from this country, so they got like double things that are going to make them double, triple, quadruple weird compared to children here in the States. So that was one reason I kept them at home. That's the one reason I homeschooled, out of probably 400 other reasons. But it made me strong. I'm strong against adversity. I'm able to stand by myself. I might not want to. I might want support. And at the beginning of this channel and this polygyny experience and things like that, there wasn't a lot of support out there, and I would just be getting lambasted and bombarded by people and their negativity and their ridicule and things like that. People would quietly support me and send me inbox messages and be like, I support you, sis. And that's great. But support openly. Like, I'm out here by myself on the front lines, and that's just only one aspect of my life. I am strong, and I'm okay with standing up and being alone, because I'm used to it. When it comes to people wanting to fight with me or dislike me, or I'm saying discriminate against me because of me being who I am and how I am. Um, you know, that I can handle it. I don't just completely break down, because this has been the story of my ever loving life. This is the story of my life. The story of my life. And I tell certain people who are still in school, and certain people who have recently come out of school, I tell them real quick, listen, I'm 38 years old. And you know what I found out? High school doesn't stop. People still pick on you. And it's crazy. You thought you left it. People still in their high school ways. Apparently humans don't change. I'm not talking about any individuals or anything like that. Individuals can change when they want to change, but humans don't change. And you're going to still deal with some person that is picking on you, that don't like you, that's trying to slander you, that's saying mean things about you, is trying to defame you, and in some cases, even as a grown-up, trying to fight you and stuff like that. And it's just, um, there's a strength inside of me that I do acknowledge, that I don't think that people today that get bullied have, and it's because they didn't have a mother like mine that was teaching them to go out and, bust somebody in the face. The negatives of the situation is the fact that some people will consider me having violent tendencies, but it's one of these things where I've been hit before, and I know I can take a punch, and I know that I'll hit back, and I know that I won't stop, kind of thing. It's one of those things where it's kind of like that can almost be the way that I have handled um, certain adverse situations my entire life, and that is a con. That's a negative. So this past year, I guess, um, in many arenas, this is where I'm learning that that is not necessary. That if I maintain my cool, and I maintain my calm, and deal with it more so with words, that I get a lot more done. And it's probably been the last 3 years. In fact, it's probably been the last 5 years, because, I did own a business, and I had to deal with some characters off in there, you know what I mean? And I still ended up getting physical with one of those characters that was in there. So, you know, I'm a work in progress. But that was a few years ago anyway. I was probably 35 at the time. So, um, that's the negative. Um, I'm happy that I'm strong from it. I'm happy that nothing just completely and utterly broke me, because I know some people that they were bullied, and they're not strong at all. But I will say that all that whole what do they say? Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. That shit hurt. It hurt the whole time. So I am not somebody that believes that at all. And I think we need to stop lying to ourselves, thinking that words don't hurt, because they do. That hurts your feelings, and that's why people react in anger and physical and things like that. Your feelings are hurt. We just have to be taught how to deal with our hurt feelings. And those of us that have children that are bullies, or are bullies ourselves, we probably need to see where that's coming from, and we need to work on that at the end of the day, because I should have personally been allowed to be a gentle, loving flower and not have to be some warrior queen through school. So that's it. This is an ugly video. I don't really care. This is my face. So I just happen to notice, like, that's just how I look. So, all right. Shalom. I'm done. It was just something personal. I needed to get it out of myself, because I keep thinking about it. This last couple of days, I've been thinking about it. And that's the thing about being bullied and growing up being bullied. You're going to constantly think about that shit. And it affects you to the point where you're thinking about it for the rest of your life. And, I have these days where I don't think about it. And that just started happening in the last few years. So I'm happy for those days. But it was just that bad. So, all right. Shalom, y'all. Peace out.